Welcome and I greet you now in love and light of the One Infinite Creator. This reading is for Scorpio. How's it going? Let's see here. It may be very important to be open to opportunity, and to trying something new, or maybe like not necessarily trying something new, but maybe like actually going back to something that you've done before, and learning to recreate your passion for it. I don't know. Um, let's see here. No one controls your destiny but you. Um, there's a sense that maybe like you've been dragged along by the current, by the a lot through your life. Um, like you've been dragged away by the current, and you've just been kind of going with the flow of things, but going with the flow, but it's been out of your control. Things have been out of your control. And you are starting to realize that's not necessarily what you want. You may seek um, stability, and you may want to. There's a little bit of fear, like of the unknown, maybe, or maybe of like what you can't control. Yeah, like fear of what you can't control. The thing is that though, that fear could create doubt and could make you, it could be very bad. So you want to try and work past that, the initial sense of fear that you get. Um, and that you got to work through that a little bit. But things take time. Time is the teacher. Time has a way of making fools out of all of us, is what they say. So it's very important to take your time, and let things happen as they will, or I don't know, because you're actually being taken away by the current. So maybe it's not about letting things happen naturally, you know, because it's not like you're in a whirlpool here and you need to just let go so that you're the whirl so that you get dragged, so you go back up to the surface. Um, it's just that the current of what's going on in everybody's lives around you is something that you have a hard time not getting caught up in. You're getting caught up in the energy of other people probably, you kind of end up letting God kind of decide where you're going to end up by letting the current take you, and you don't want the current to, like, of energy of necessarily to take you away from what you actually want to do in life, and it's going to be about being a leader, not a follower, and really creating your own destiny, taking control back, not allowing others to, or not necessarily others, but not just or well, yeah, it's like there may be an issue with others, there may be issues with the people from the past, that have haunted you for a long time, but you're starting to see the forest from the trees. You're starting to see the truth. You're not letting things get the best of you. And you're trying to create more stability in your life, but it makes you a little bit fearful to not have control. Maybe it's like a sense of like being fearful because you can't control everything. But I don't know. because you've been dragged away by the current for so long that you're not you don't know how to, swim yet. Maybe, I don't know. Like, it's not about necessarily, I don't know. Fight or flight may come in. Um, we all have a fight or flight response that comes in when we're in fear. It's important not to let fear control you, and not to force you into making decisions. You know, and that comes from within to not become fearful. Like you have to have a solid. You have to um, maybe like believe in yourself more. Believe in your dreams. Or believe in yourself and just what you and your ability to make decisions. And believe in you and in the fact that you have control over your life and no one else can take that away from you. But control isn't necessarily a good thing. So being dragged away by the current isn't necessarily a bad thing. Depending on whether or not you can swim. Depending on whether or not you're. I mean, I don't know. It's not necessarily a good thing to be dragged away by the current either. It's just if you believe in you, if you have the ability to get yourself to safety, and not to allow chaos into your life, or if you may have already, you know, dealt with the chaos within yourself, and you're trying to establish stability and good things are to come, as long as you can love yourself, Self-love is so hard, it's like, we can become very fearful and end up hating ourselves so easily. Um, so, I leave you now in love and light of the one infinite creator, and I wish you well. Um, I feel like letting go of the past is what's serving you. Um, and I wish good things for you. Regardless of whatever is going on in your life, and um, hmm, I don't know. Maybe there's more. Maybe there's more. I don't know. I feel like I should end I should end this reading, but I also feel like I might be at the edge of I might be getting might if I say the wrong things I might get stung here, because Scorpio, you're very dangerous, and spiritually you can do a lot of damage to people. Um, one sting is deadly, right? And no one messes with a scorpion. When they see a scorpion on the ground, you don't fucking touch it. Excuse my language. Um, you know, so it's hard to tell a Scorpio you know, what to really do. But you can give. I feel like hope is very important for you right now. Like having hope that things can turn out better than they have for you in the past. Um, it's Judgment's also going to be very judgment's hard to get away from. It's like people judge you all the time, right? And it's just normal, right? Like, um, or I don't know if I'm saying I don't like people judge each other all the time is what I'm trying to say. Not necessarily you, but I mean like um, it's important to get away from judgment, you know, and to be in the, I don't know. I feel like you have a good head on your shoulders, you know. Um, let's see here. Hmm. It's like you've grown soft, you know. You've forgotten that you have a hard exterior, you know, and you've grown soft, you know. So you don't really believe in your own powers anymore. But the thing is, you're very spiritually powerful, you know, and can be very, you know, I don't want to say dangerous, but I mean like, you know, to others. But I mean like, you know, you're just realistically, you know, do we really choose who we are? You know, um, it's 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 we are who we are for a reason, you know, and I feel like we're here for a reason to learn certain things in life, you know, and you know, and if the stars align, you know, life should be a bed full of roses for you in the future, you know. Um, I feel like, you know, um, you just gotta realize your spiritual power, you know, and take control over your life, you know, and the direction you're gonna go in life, you know. Control is a sign of service to self, but you know maybe you know um, maybe you deserve it. You know, maybe you deserve to have control and to have stability. You know, in your life, and that's a good thing. I feel like you are destined for it. You know. So with all that being said, I wish you a wonderful day. Namaste.